enough to meet the brilliant, well, musical maestro, Jerry Herman. Oh yes, you don't forget things like that, do you? You know, the sort of thing where you've been sent to interview them and you think, oh, I can't believe my luck. And I kept saying, is it really Jerry Herman, you know? And it was at the Piccadilly Theatre in the very heart of London, and they were doing a revival of one of his brilliant musicals. I think it was Mac and Mabel, something like that. And it actually starred, get this, at the time, the sadly now lost wonderful guy, David Soul, the actor from, of course, Starsky and Hutch. And he'd obviously moved into the world of musical theatre and was doing incredibly well. And there was Jerry Herman. And the thing about Jerry was he had this assistant with him, and he was talking to us about buying some of his mega property out in, I think, Miami or something like that. I don't know how rich Jerry thought I was, you know, but you just kind of think, well, no, I can't really afford that, love, you know, but you just smile, don't you? You think, yeah, okay, you know. The reason why I mentioned that is, of course, Jerry Herman was responsible for some wonderful musical theatre, Broadway, West End, around the world. And this particular lady, Angela Lansbury, told me an interesting story about what might have been, yes, behind the scenes. Let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you're all right. Lovely to have your company today. We're out and about, of course, in London. And as ever, yes, you know, you have to keep busy, don't you? Are you busy today? You're all right. You're not doing too much. Well, don't bother. No, why bother? Let it pile up. I always think the dust, you don't notice it after a year, do you? You know, well, you know what it's like if you live anywhere near trees and pollen, you get my drift. Terrible stuff, isn't it? Yes, I mean, you know, you're polishing all day. Yes, the knickknacks are covered permanently, aren't they? We'll leave it there. Now, where I find this particular story engaging is it just goes to show you what goes on behind the scenes of the world of show business. As I say, I was lucky enough to meet the wonderful Angela Lansbury very last time over here in London. She was starring at the Gielgud Theatre in Blythe Spirit. She was a lovely, lovely lady, you know, everything you'd wanted to be. I knew her, of course, from Murder, She Wrote, as many people do, but of course older viewers may remember her as being a big MGM star, wonderful Disney actress, all of that sort of stuff. But it's the generation that you grow up in. I couldn't quite believe I'm meeting Jessica Fletcher, you know, I mean, it was that nice. One of the sad things, as many people know who watch this show on a regular basis, is when my phone was stolen, that was one of the pictures that was on the memory card. I know, I don't have a copy, I've had a look everywhere, but I can't find it, which is very sad. And we also had some audio footage and stuff like that. Always back up your phone, right? But here's the thing, I remember her telling me this wonderful story about another Hollywood icon, Lucille Ball. And the bottom line was that both of them at one point were in the running to star in the film version of Mame. Right? Now, Angela had done this very successfully on the stage, and one night she sees in the audience that Lucille Ball is sitting there, you know, and she said, I'm a little bit unnerved, you know, because Lucille's just a genius, comedy. She was very much in awe of this woman, and we all loved I Love Lucy. This point, of course, Lucy's not exactly in favour, and, you know, difficult times, all that sort of stuff. But eventually, you know, she came and said hello, and they got on. And she said, oh, you must play this role on film. It's ideal for you. According to Angela, which really made me laugh, this story, because it tells you everything you need to know about show business, right? She turns to the wings, and she's doing a big number, you know, on the stage. And she sees Lucille Ball in the wings with notes, right? And, you know, thinks, what's going on here? Anyway, it turns out that Lucille had decided that she might now have a crack at, you know, applying to be on the film version of Mame. And as we all know, she finally got the role. According to Angela, though, she offered the backers a lot of money to get that part. You know, she said virtually, if you could buy your way in, that was the deal, you were going to get it, and, you know, that's that. And, you know, this goes on a lot in show business. And she wasn't saying that with malice or anything. She was saying that's kind of what went on. And what was fascinating, as everybody knows, is the movie version was nowhere near a patch on Angela Lansbury's, you know, wonderful adaptation of that particular role. Simply because Lucille really didn't necessarily have the right voice for that part, you know. It really needed somebody with a big character. And what Lucille was a brilliant comedienne, you know, she was that. But at this point in her career, you know, vocally, she was being very much stretched. And so Angela said that many years later, they bumped into each other again, and Lucille basically said, you know, I should never have gone for that part. You would have been so right for it, but I just wanted another roll of the dice, and I felt that this might be it. And she said, what could I say to that? You know, how can I then say, well, look at what you did? But she said, you know, the thing is, Lucille Ball to her still remained an icon of Hollywood comedy. She said, but sometimes this is the thing, you need somebody around you who can say, you know what, you're really not right for that role, no matter how much money you throw at it. And that was the beauty of Angela Lansbury, otherwise known to many, of course, as the super sleuth Jessica Fletcher. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.